going to make now is I'm going to make asteroid ice cream, okay? And the actual asteroid that I'm going to go for, the asteroid of choice, is going to be the moons of Mars, okay? So Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, and they are both basically called carbonaceous asteroids, okay? Their composition is very similar to the carbonaceous meteorites. Right, so this is an example of the type of meteorite or asteroid that I'm going to make ice cream akin to. So, let's see, the first thing that we can see in this is the thing that you identified, which is the chondrules, which are all over that, okay? And to represent the chondrules, I'm going to use chocolate toffee pieces, okay? Now, as you can see, there's a lot of chondrules, a very high percentage of chondrules in this, so I'm going to put a lot of the chocolate toffee pieces into my ice cream mix. Right. The next ingredient is this, a fluffy piece, okay? This is called a calcium aluminium rich inclusion. As the name suggests, it's got a lot of calcium and aluminium in it. It's the very first minerals that formed in our solar system. I'm going to represent them by another fluffy material which isn't, unfortunately, vegetarian friendly, which is marshmallows. So there we go. Now this image is a microscope image that is in reflected light. So the bright areas are where light is reflected a lot, and the dark areas is where light is not reflected, is reflected very little. So these areas of high reflection show pure metal. So that's the iron nickel metal that we're seeing in some of the other samples. Okay, there's a fair amount of that in the meteorite, and that's what I'm going to represent with some little sugar pearls that are silver in colour. All these materials are held together in a binding matrix, which is very, very fine-grained, okay? It's basically fine-grained minerals, very, very small grains. So I'm going to use some cream and sugar to represent that. Just put that in. Now, in the carbonaceous asteroids, this matrix, or this binding material, also contains clay minerals, okay? These are minerals that actually contain water bound within them. And clay minerals are known to act as a catalyst for organic chemical reactions, okay? So we're slowly building up some interesting ingredients, okay, in our asteroid. So the last ingredient, which is chocolate syrup, is going to represent carbon, particularly organic carbon. So typically in carbonaceous meteorites or carbonaceous asteroids, they contain up to 5% organic carbon. So we've got water bound up in minerals in the matrix, we've got clay minerals which can act as a catalyst for organic reactions, and we've got organic molecules as well within our asteroid. And so this poses an interesting possibility when these particular objects impact with the early Earth or impact with early Mars, because you've got quite a lot of nice ingredients there. Impacts could be a very good method to deliver these kinds of materials to the early Earth's surface. To represent volatiles, which is things like water and ices that you also find on these asteroids, and also to solidify our asteroid, we're going to use some liquid nitrogen. So liquid nitrogen is nitrogen that is cooled to minus 190 degrees centigrade. Okay. So yesterday I was having a conversation with people about maybe this is equivalent to the surface temperature, the average temperature on Titan. Okay, Titan's average surface temperature, I looked it up, is minus 170. So this is 20 degrees colder than it is on the surface of Titan. Okay, right. So if you just pour a little bit in, and what I'll do is I'll just mix it first, and then I'll turn the whisk on in a bit.
Okay, so you went.
Okay, stop there, and I'll just stir it all in. So what you're seeing, obviously, is if nitrogen is liquid at minus 190, as soon as it hits our moderate air temperature, moderate room temperature, it's boiling off. And for those at the front, you might be able to see it boiling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? It doesn't look very appetising yet. And actually, this vapour that's coming off, I don't know, maybe someone can feel it, it's very cold. And that's not nitrogen vapour that you're seeing. Does anyone know what it might be that we're seeing, this cloud of white gas that's coming off?
Nitrogen oxide.
No? Something that's essential for life. Yeah, it's water vapour. So it's water vapour condensing onto the nitrogen as it's turning into a gas, basically. Yeah, thanks, it's good. It's nice and cooling here for us, isn't it? Standing right next to us. It's like aircon.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go and stick your hand in there if you want, because it's not cold at all.
Go and stick your hand in the bowl.
Yeah. But it is nice and cooling. So you know instantly when it turned to ice cream because I can't actually move the whisk. Now, this ice cream is basically more like gelato, so it will melt straight away. So